It was a double dose of drama on tonight's episode of Double Shot at Love when Angelina makes a surprise appearance. The house goes against Nikki yet again in a surprising elimination that I was not prepared for. We're talking about it right now.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Happy Jersey,
I will never
everyone.
get over this music.
It's
Happy
great,
Jersey.
I like the new music. I like
it.
it.
Just brings the vibe up and
It is.
everything.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us yet again for another after show. Today we are talking about episode 7, Hurricane Angelina, a double shot of love. I'm your host, Vinny Adams, and before we get into it, I want to introduce you to my amazing co-host, the amazing actor, friendliest person ever, Lauren Mayo.
Oh, I know, that's so sweet. Hi, guys.
And
Hi,
then
Mom.
we have this trendsetter over here,
I
life
mean-
of the party, CJ.
Thank you. Me, I got the hood on and everything.
Right, exactly. And then we have a very special guest who I am excited to bring on, Miss Nikki.
Hey,
She's
she's
here
back.
today.
Our favorite.
Yes. The
Apparently
one
we're
y'all
so
love to
biased.
hate.
We're so biased about you, apparently.
Yeah.
I know. I need you guys to be completely neutral. Like I don't.
Oh, we
you know what
are.
I mean?
We're gonna be completely neutral. We're gonna be fair. So we have a lot to talk about today. We're gonna start off. We're just gonna go right into it with that huge fight with Nikki and Suzy. Then we're gonna go into the surprise appearance with Angelina. Go into a little bit of more stuff, and then talk about our special segment and predictions. But first, let's talk about that huge fight.
Oh God,
Oh, girl.
It was big.
my heart is still racing.
Right. Let me know what you guys thought about the show real quick.
I thought the title, Angelina, like she shook the house
Yeah.
up. Like which
Yeah.
I think we all predicted that last week that she was gonna turn things upside down, and she did just that.
She did.
Yeah. I really like this episode. I live for drama, and I loved your whole fight scene. It was
don't.
awesome.
I hate people seeing me like that, but it's like, what do you do in that situation? You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Right.
I
And
mean,
so-
it's good TV.
It is.
Yeah, but still, like I'm really not that person. I am very impulsive and reactive, so in the moment I do get loud and then I regret it later. I'm like, why did I do that? You know,
Yeah.
which is why I walk away and which is why I cry, because I'm like, I don't want to be that person that people are seeing, this just like big mean person, I'm crazy or all this. It's just like, why can't we all get along?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it was definitely a drama-filled episode. I loved it because of all the drama. I know it was probably opposite for
Hard
you
to watch.
when
It's
you were
hard to
there.
watch.
It's like reliving it for you.
I was-
It is reliving it. It's the
Yeah.
worst feeling. Like every time I watch the episode, I can feel and hear my heart through
Oh,
my
I
chest.
can imagine.
And
I
I'm
can
like,
imagine.
oh God, like I don't want to, like I don't want people seeing this. I don't want, but it's like Jesus.
Yeah, it was intense, and one thing that was super intense was that fight that happened with you and Suzy, and I was torn because I love Suzy.
Mm-hmm.
Suzy is one of my favorite players, and then I also love you.
Yeah.
Like you're one of my favorite players.
I
So
know.
it was
Players.
like
I love it like you call them players.
I don't want to
It's a
say
game of love.
like characters, you know,
Contestants.
It is.
contestants.
People.
Yeah.
They're just
Yes.
people.
And I feel like people don't need to be on sides. They don't need to be like, oh, I love Susie more than I love
Uh-huh.
Nikki, or vice versa. It is just what it is. Like I feel like we got off on a wrong foot in the house. Like
Right.
I know the competition is about like making friends or being there for people to like you, but at the same time, like now looking back at it, I kind of just wish like maybe it was just a different vibe in the house, because that's where my issues stem from. Everybody made it seem that, oh, like you say you like Paulie and then you want to leave, yeah, because of the vibe in the house.
Right.
I feel like my home should be, because it's my home away from home at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
It's somewhere where I should feel comfortable waking up to, and like I feel like when I walk downstairs, everybody's just like, why is she here? You know,
Right.
so I'm like, well, why would I want to stay in that? It's like being bullied at school.
Right.
How does that kid feel that's being picked on? You don't want to go to school. You don't want to like address certain things, and I'm just like, but in the moment, I get loud and I just say shit that I shouldn't say, and I'm whatever.
Right. And speaking of stuff that maybe you shouldn't say, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. And so how how the fight started, or before the fight, you and Susie were in the room. You guys are talking.
Yeah.
And then you say something about Susie's voice.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like that's how it escalated. Like, do
Yeah.
you agree, or was there editing involved, that something we didn't see?
I mean, well, I think I'm just speaking from my perspective. Night one, I feel like I walked in the house and Susie looked me up and down. I don't know if that was editing or whatever, but and I also remember from the talent show, she went on and she did her twerk and her laugh thing. And then I remember when she got down, I was like, oh my God, your laugh. And she's like, you're a hater. So that's where that came from. And I was like, really wasn't hating though. You know, it's just like, to me, and I think the first time I was here, I was like, it was kind of like culture shock for me, or out of my norm, because people in Jamaica don't talk like that, or and that maybe was just like me coming at her from like judging her from first impression.
Yeah.
You know, so going back to this thing, I just feel like, well, damn, like I wasn't trying to like mock you or make fun of you. It's just like,
Right.
what the fuck? You know, it's just kind of like funny. So then she's like, oh, well, you say you like it and then you don't. I was like, okay, whatever.
I honestly love the fact when you said, like, I didn't come here to make friends. Honestly, there's always one girl in every single reality show that says that, and that's when you know that the show starts.
Yeah.
Like, that's when
true.
the show
That
starts.
is very true.
I
It's
love
just
that.
like, Holly made a comment and was like, oh, Paulie, do you really want to like be with the one person that 10 beautiful girls hate or whatever? And I'm like,
I think that actually backfired on her, because she's just proving the point that everyone's on one team and you're on the other.
exactly.
So
Because like, why would you say that?
Yeah.
We are in this house competing for the same two guys.
Yeah.
But at this point, it clearly is like the Paulie show, because
Yeah.
they're only showing us like
Yeah.
tackling the love for Paulie. So it's like, you say this and I'm like, it's a competition. You guys aren't supposed to like me, technically. You know? So
Fair.
you sitting there making me look bad. It's like, at this point, I feel like you're making yourself like figure out your game. Figure out
Right.
why you're the best person for him. Don't be a why her and not me ass bitch. Like, come on.
Right,
It
right.
just has
I think
to be,
she's talking about Darren.
No, I'm not even talking. I'm talking about everybody in general.
I gotta
Like,
do it.
stop watching my game.
Yeah.
Figure out your game. Like, in Jamaica, we say, y'all watch me and your business are spoiled. Like, you know what I mean? Focus on what you have to bring to the table and stop sitting there picking me apart. Paulie, look, oh my God, she sneezed. She's crazy. She's doing this for Paulie's attention. I'm like, come on, can I live?
Right.
At this point, it's just like, same cast, different day, new script. Because it's always something.
Right.
I wake up tomorrow, it's going to be something else.
Right. And I've said it since, you know, the first after show, you know, this, like you said, this is a competition. You guys are
I don't have to
here
like you.
to fight for, you know, Vinny or Paulie. And that's one of the reasons why I liked you early on, is because it seemed like you were in it to win it. And I feel like you started the whole competition. The girls saw that, you know, this girl is going after Paulie hard.
Yeah.
You know, I need to step up my game. And I think that's when all the other girls start to step up
do you
their
think
game.
that's why that they're all hating on you, because they saw that you guys had such a
feel
strong
like-
connection?
Every time I say this, I'll say, me and him have the strongest connection in the house.
But he admitted
People
to it.
started rolling their eyes. Yeah, but they didn't know that at this
Yeah.
point. So I feel uncomfortable saying, yeah, like me and Paulie have this strong, because I know, like, they're, bitch, what? Like, how do you know that? It's because I know. You think I'm like just feeding off of one kiss? You know what I mean? I've
Right.
gotten to know Paulie up until this point, and I feel like he knows me as well. They're sitting next. If she's only showing one side, Paulie pisses me off. I'm gonna show Nikkisha. You know, I'm not gonna hide it because I can't.
I like that. Keisha.
I can't contain it. I am impulsive and I get upset and will storm out and say things, and it's just like, I'm trying to figure out, but like, who's perfect? You know what I mean? But I just feel like I just feel like everybody is kind of just like ignorant to the whole situation, because they're not seeing how me and Paulie are like relating. We text heavy every night. He said it in the last episode. Me and him text till like 2 a.m.
Right.
nonstop. So it's like, everybody's like, oh my God, like, Paulie needs to send her home. Why does he like her? Like, she's so crazy. And it's like, I went into that house thinking that there's no way in hell they're going to find me somebody to like, even
Yeah.
love, you know? So when I met Paulie, and we talked, and I felt the vibe. You can see it almost. I feel like rewatching the episodes, I get goosebumps because I started like, that's not even me, like, bitch, you know. But it's like I get overwhelmed by the situation because I didn't think that I was gonna like legit like fall for him, you know. And that's what stirs me up because at this point my emotions are involved, and then I feel like I have to constantly defend myself every day, no matter what I say or do. Every day it's something. So I'm like, I hope he's not like seeing me for what they're saying.
Right,
I can't help but think it because it's like, well, damn, everybody's saying it, so maybe at this point he does believe it.
Right,
You know, it's just, what do I do?
And that's interesting you saying you have to defend yourself because we kind of see that, and maybe it's the editing, but I'm noticing in the chat you have some strong supporters and then some people who aren't as strong.
Yeah.
And our Fisher actually said people hate on Nikki because she's a bully. So do you think that you're a bully? And if not, why do you think you're perceived as a bully on the show?
I don't think I'm a bully, but that's just my perspective. Maybe everybody is seeing another side. I just feel like I'm a little bit misunderstood. I don't elaborate on things a lot when I say something, so I'll make a comment and it comes off a different way, and people are like, you know, why did you say that or do that? And I'm like, oh, I didn't mean it that way. But at this point, if I defend myself, it's gonna be a whole
Right.
fight.
And so the girls were not buying your story
Yeah.
when you were talking to Angelina about, you know, why you care for Vinny or Pauly so much. I don't know why I always do that, but then you know, it was a full-on attack, and the most surprising person stands, like, I was not expecting that. Like, Susie, out of all people.
Yep.
And she just goes off on you. Like, what did you guys think about that whole situation?
I was surprised. We've had Susie in as well.
Yes.
And a side note, for all the people who say we're biased and we have certain people in, everyone is welcome. So if you love someone, or if somebody's your cousin out here in the comments, tell them to come see us. We would love to talk to everybody. This is a place for everybody. So please, if you're fans of a girl, send her to AfterBuzz. But I was surprised that Susie was the one, because we kind of just know her for her laugh and like being like, so happy.
Yeah,
and
she's like the life of the party, like the chill life of the party.
She's never
girl.
upset, so I was surprised.
I was shocked. I was really shocked because when she came in, she seemed like super sweet. Well, she is super sweet and like super like chill and mellow and not how
about the drama.
I couldn't have seen her get in a fight. Like if someone said Nikki's gonna get in a fight with someone, Susie would be the last person.
I thought it would have been Marissa.
I thought it would have been Marissa or
she
Darren.
Seemed like she was upset, or Darren.
Yeah. And so on one hand, I kind of saw where Susie was coming from. She was frustrated. She was speaking her mind. She was standing up for herself. And then on the other hand, I see where you're coming from, because it's all these girls against one person. So what are you supposed to do? Like, walk away or stand up for yourself? And you can argue for both of them, but some would say if you walk away, then it's looked as weak.
Yeah. And if I stand up, I'm crazy.
Right, so you have to find, where's that median?
Yeah.
Don't say shit.
What did you guys think should have happened throughout that whole situation?
I think it just would have been different if it really just was between Susie and Nikki, but I think the problem came in when everybody else was like, okay, Susie's opened the can of worms, so to speak, so now we're all gonna go in.
Yeah.
Right.
And it wasn't like real problems. Like if you guys were in it, and I still to this day don't even know what I've done to them personally. I feel like I've obviously had debacles with everybody at this point in the house, you know, but my head-to-head with Darren was because she went and told my business without me, like, no, I just didn't. I want to keep certain things private to me, and I felt like she took that from me. And at that point, I felt like, well, now she wants to just go around and tell the whole house, you know. My thing with Susie kind of surprised me too. It came out of left field, but I was like,
it was so crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I appreciate her for confronting me, you know, because that's how you feel at the time. But I feel like we could have dealt with it in a healthier, situation. But everybody's going to have their own opinion. Everybody's going to feel some type of way. I can't sit here and make these girls like me. I feel like every time I say something, it's a sob story. You're only saying this for attention and whatever. And I'm like, well, at this point, do I talk? Like, how else do you get to know somebody in that situation?
Right.
And then
Right.
at the end, we saw that you and Susie and 2 others I forgot were in the little confessional. Did you guys squash it at the end of that?
Yeah, because it was
night?
nothing personal. It was just kind of like, shut the fuck up. And then I was like, well, everybody's allowed to speak and I can't, because the minute I open my mouth, it's like this World War IV, you know? It's like, it's very frustrating because at the same time, yes, we're not there to make friends, but I don't like the vibe. Yeah. I don't want to be in the middle of all this because I'm a very chill person. I'm home, I go from work to home, and I literally am in my bed all day.
Right.
You know, after that. I'm not sitting around like looking to start shit with people.
Right.
It looks that way on TV, but it's like, you really think I care that much about your life, though?
Mm-hmm. Right. And then towards, the end of the fight, the girls are bringing up, if you can't handle us, you can't handle,
Lord. Yeah.
This
I've been seeing
real
that a
life
lot.
situation.
A whole lot.
What do you have to say about that when...
I don't need to handle Pauly's lifestyle. That is something that he built all on his own. I'm not his manager. I'm not his owner. I would more so look at it as being there as a supportive partner for him if we do pursue something outside of this show. You know what I mean? I feel like in this house, we're all dating the same guys.
Yeah.
He's texting all of them. He's kissing all of them. He's dating all of them. What girl is not going to get frustrated or annoyed or upset or at this? It's just like, I don't want to know. For me, it's not jealousy. It's like, it turns me off. I get crazy and I'm like, well, he's kissing other girls. Don't kiss me then, But at this point in the house, I'm like, well, you have to stay. Because if you want it that much, then stay. Oh, as much as it upset me, I wanted to leave so bad because I felt like I'm not the kind of girl that's going to sit here and like fight for the attention of a guy. You know what I mean? But that's what the situation is. It's not healthy. And the way I handled it was just the way I know how. It's how I process my feelings. So if I want to go upstairs and cry and then come down the next 2 seconds and be like, you're good, girl. It's just like, it's what it is.
Right.
But I feel like if in the real world, Pauly has fans, obviously, and he has his supporters, and he has the groupies or whoever goes out to his shows, and they're like in his DMs. I feel like to this point, I know Pauly so much without him even having to say it, he would never put me in that position. And that's why that was my only reason for staying in that house. Because I felt like outside of this, I wouldn't have to fight 10 girls to get his attention. Because he's tunnel vision. Pauly's that kind of, he's said it a million times. I would never cheat on somebody. No matter what people are saying, I believe it. Maybe I'm naive for that, but something inside of me felt like I wouldn't be in this position if I was in the real world. I wouldn't have to go and why are you DMing my man?
Yeah.
Because he won't be responding in that way.
Right.
It's showing love and it's like, come on.
They're just totally different situations too. I mean, I totally get what Elise was saying, but it is kind of different than doing a walk. If he has to do a walkthrough at a club and you have to be out in a section with him, versus living with 10 other girls
that are pursuing the same guy.
So it's it's a little different, but I guess I get what she meant.
I kind of understand what she meant because at the same time, it is a different situation, but he is in a situation where all these girls are going after him. And, some girls will be shady and completely messed up.
Oh, yeah.
They don't care if he's with someone. They're still going to go after him.
Yeah.
I've seen it all.
I think they all kind of get that.
The difference is, though...
Is he entertaining it?
Yes, the difference is in this situation, he's trying to get interested in all of you, whereas...
And that's where it's uncomfortable for me.
In the other situation, he's just into this one girl, and all these other girls are going after him.
Don't say that.
So, what did you think about that, CJ?
I'm sorry. I'm reading the live chat because people have so many questions for you.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really.
No worries. No worries.
And Mish is in there. What's up, Mish?
Yeah, Mish has a lot of questions for you, but we're gonna save that till later. For you.
Why?
We're gonna save that later.
Okay, so before we get into the next topic, we have a special announcement that we want to tell you guys.
Yes, we do. Hey guys, we just wanted to thank you for making us the ESPN of TV Talk. If you're watching us right now on YouTube, be be sure to subscribe. And be sure that you're subscribed to our other channels, because it's not just AfterBuzz Reality. We also have drama, comedy, and so much more on YouTube. And like this video. Also, if you're listening to us on iTunes, be sure to give us a 5-star rating. All 5 stars, because the other ones don't really matter.
You don't count.
And they really don't. So seriously, 5 stars. And be sure to tell a family, a friend, or a stranger at Starbucks all about AfterBuzz.
That was amazing,
that
Lauren.
was-
As usual.
Thank
As
you.
usual. All right, so during that fight, Angelina, she's just sitting there, like, just enjoying
Ange.
everything.
She was.
She's just like, look what I caused. She was so happy about it.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Angelina,
facials.
yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. And so, you know, before this whole thing started, she made a little surprise appearance.
EMT.
Yeah. And so she put all the girls through this crazy challenge where they had to go and find mannequin parts and put them together.
Which
The-
you killed.
Yeah, the winners were obviously you and Brittany.
Yeah.
Maria wasn't picked, so
Yeah.
she still got to go on the
She won by
date with
default,
you
but
two.
it's cool.
Right.
I told her right before, I was like, girl,
The
you're coming on this
shade.
date because we're
Oh.
winning.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
No,
oh.
it was like, they showed it that way, but it was like, I really was like, girl, you're coming on the date.
Yeah.
Right. And so Angelina, she was, and so I said this last week. I don't feel like there's a villain on the show. I don't think any of the girls are villains.
Boss.
Angelina.
Darren.
No, I don't.
Darren's a
I will.
villain.
I will say this. I do not think Darren. Because they
I
haven't
don't
even.
think Darren is a
They
villain.
haven't even
I can
shown
give her
Darren
that.
much.
I think Darren is just like, she puts her nose where it doesn't belong. Like, she's just in everybody's business. Like,
Right.
Like, she kissed Paulie, I think, when she had her date, and the first thing she said was it better than Nicki's? And I'm like, focus on your own game.
Right.
So
You
is she in
know?
everybody's business, or is she
Or
in
just you.
Nikki's business?
No, I feel like Darren's in everyone's, because I've seen her like talk about more than just Nikki. Like, if something happens, then Darren knows, or Darren has something
Yeah.
to say about it.
And
Right.
it's funny because I think when the whole thing between me, Holly, and who said she said what, Holly was like, if anybody should go home, it should be Darren. At that point, I figured she should have called my name because it was going on between me. Aren't you guys friends in the house? Like, why would you be like throw Darren under the bus? So you're seeing something clearly that we're not seeing.
Right.
But-
right.
Who's the bad guy?
Well, you know, someone who I thought was the bad guy in this
Angelina.
episode was Angelina. See,
Yeah.
Angelina is the real villain, and I
The
think
Jersey
she,
dump.
She's
I
a
think she
hurricane.
loves that. I think she likes that title.
I was
That's-
sitting at the bar like,
That's,
Wait, why do you think she was a
scared.
villain?
Are you kidding me? Like what she did to me, how she called her out
Yeah, did you
for
forget that
no
scene?
reason whatsoever. You know,
because
it
Mish
was-
said that she was sticking up for me because I made a comment, I don't drink or whatever. And I
Right.
was just like,
and then
So-
Mish didn't have to like. She it wasn't like she was being rude.
no.
Yeah.
She was being sincere. From the show, Mish is a very, and we've met her. Mish is a very chill, cool girl. So for Angelina to just go off like that and say you don't belong in this family,
Yeah.
that was awful.
Yeah,
that
that
is a
was-
true villain.
I mean,
She just
Angelina
went out of her
yeah.
way to make her cry, to get her feelings hurt. You know, that
That was so
wasn't nice
random because Mish
whatsoever.
literally just said, like, she said something, one small thing, and then
It's just like
Angelina just went
preferences.
off.
Well, she needed somebody to go off on, and she just picked Mish because
I mean,
Mish
she
was.
did say earlier
yeah.
on that she's gonna
She
come
wants
in
it.
heavy and
I thought it would be
see
you,
Susie.
though.
I was
It could have been if Mish didn't
sitting
step
at the
up.
bar like this. I did not make one comment when, besides the whole I don't drink thing. That was the only thing I said, pretty much. I'm surprised they didn't catch me looking like.
So while we're on this topic, we have a few questions about this. Everyone wants me to ask this. Marlene Soto says, can you please ask Nikki why she didn't defend Mish when Angelina attacked her? When Mish was trying to get Angelina's
That's a good
to
question.
take
Yeah,
off of your
I
back.
got that question too in the house because at that point, Elise like really vibed with Mish really well, and I remember sitting there and Elise got like really upset about it because she was like, "Yo, Mish is a cool girl." And I was like, just calm down. Like, because at that point, I was just like, don't even say anything because I don't want Angelina to come at you. I was sitting there literally like, mum's the word. Because I don't know what her intentions were, Angelina's intentions were coming in the house. I felt like, okay, I don't want to say anything and for her to come at me. Because then it would have probably been a me and Angelina thing instead
Right.
of Susie. You know, so I sat there and I didn't say anything. I feel like how I feel now towards Mish, I think she's two-faced, and I don't think that she is a friend of mine. She's literally... The whole thing with Holly, I feel like shouldn't even... Mind you, I'm not trying to defend myself for making the comment or repeating what I heard about whoever being weird. I just feel like if you didn't say something, it wouldn't have been that, you know? And I said it to you... Maybe I'm just petty.
Well, we're gonna go into Mish just a little bit, but first let's touch on that date that you three went on. One thing that I noticed is you gave the floor to both Maria and Brittany.
Yeah, I was surprised that you made that decision.
I really liked how Maria opened up. We learned something new about Maria, how her dad wasn't really there, and that's why she's very closed and she doesn't open up. What did you guys think about that?
I wasn't expecting her to drop that at that time, but I mean, she opened up. I do wish she would have done it with Vinny though, because I feel like they had the stronger connection, and I totally get that Vinny's like, wow, she told you about her, and I've been trying to talk to her, and she's not responding to me at all. So I wish she would have done that with Vinny, but
yeah, I really wish she would have done. It seems like Maria is just like going back and forth, or it's not back and forth. It seems like she's trying to play both sides, and
that's the name of the game.
Well, because like she went on this date and is like she has an emotional connection with Paulie now, yet she had the physical connection with Vinny. So I feel like she's trying to like win the game, not win love.
I don't think so. I think she really has a genuine... I mean, they like squid porn or something, so that's like a genuine bond.
You can see their connection for sure.
Yeah, I think she was just taking advantage of the date. Like, I'm just going to open up in general. Wish it was Vinny.
Because this is the guy that I want to pursue his best friend. He might put in a good word for me, which is what he did.
Yeah.
And like,
I guess, I can see that.
I don't think there's any shame in trying to get to know both. That's what they're on. That's what all of you are on the show for, to get to know both of them and figure out, which one do you have a stronger connection with.
Yeah.
So that date was very surprising. Something else that was...
I don't understand why they keep having these dates in the house, because I think that's so unfair that... like, all the girls can literally hear and see what's going on and can have, like, their little 2 cents. But, like, I feel like that's not helpful if you're trying to get to know someone when these, like, other girls are literally staring you down and you can feel them staring you and, like, giving you, like, death stares and hate.
Yeah.
I feel like what I wish I would have done was not gone on the date at all.
Really?
Even though I won, that was credit enough for me. Like, I should have been like, you know what, to really give you guys time with Paulie, since at this point everybody's looking at me as unfair or whatever. I should have just, you know what I mean? Had my breakfast in bed or something.
Right.
But then it would have looked like Nikki's mad that they're
I was about to say, I don't think that you would have been received any differently if you made that decision.
So you sit there and just eat
also,
my bacon.
Misha had a question I forgot to ask before. She said, why were you smirking while Angelina was, like, yelling at her?
Why would Mish ask that? Obviously, there's editing. I could have been smirking for a whole other reason.
Right.
Why are you on social media retweeting and making comments of people defending me, and then you call me your friend? It's like, I've had Mish at my home twice already. And I feel like somebody that I invite in my home is somebody I consider a friend. What I'm seeing on, like, you telling Holly, regardless, I get Holly needed to know or whatever, but it came from me, and then it was a big thing. I felt like if you were my friend, you don't tell my secrets.
Right.
I feel like if you're my friend, you don't say one thing, literally. She was like, I'm sticking up for my friend, but then two seconds later in the kitchen, you're telling Darren, I think she should go home.
I didn't see that.
Which is it?
Well, speaking of Mish, she did get eliminated, and I was so surprised with that. Really? That was actually the first elimination where I was genuinely, like, shocked. Because I had no clue.
Every elimination I'm shocked, because
really?
It's just like, why did this girl go? Every time I think someone's going to go home, it's just like a random person that I'd never even thought of.
Out of blue.
Yeah, Mish was the very first person, and I can't help but think it was because of the whole Angelina situation. What do you guys think?
I think that's a complete cop-out. I agree with what Mish thought. in the cab that it's because they had a mental connection but not a physical. And I think when Vinny made out with Maria, she was already concerned, because they had just had that date, and then he goes makes out with someone else.
Right.
I definitely think it's more the physical thing. I feel like that was a cop out because Vinny's a sweetheart and he didn't want to say that it's just not there.
Oh no, Vinny definitely defended Mish. They didn't show a lot of that, but he definitely was like, I think Mish is a cool girl. Like, for you to come at her like that is
like in front of everyone.
In front of everybody. I just feel like, and again, I was roommates with Mish, so I've seen her like wanting to like talk to Vinny in a different, like, you know what I mean? Because at that point she was like the funny girl that Vinny just found funny, and she wanted to be out of that. So that was her struggle, where she felt like, I need to figure out how to get like this emotional connection with him rather than him just looking at me as like, Mish the funny girl.
Right.
Yeah, like get the physical stimulation thing going.
It definitely sucked to see her go because she had this great story in the beginning where she didn't even really know she should have belonged there. She was crying. She's the youngest one there. She got up the courage to stay, and like you saw her, I don't want to say grow, but you saw more of her, and you saw more of her personality and how she's like this really caring person. So that's what I really liked. So I was really bummed to see her go.
Side note, I know how I feel about Mish right now, but it's just from how I feel about her personally. I don't think Mish has any ill intentions when she's doing anything. I just think she is really super sweet to everybody, nice to everybody, and she wants to be friends with everybody. That is where I feel like the loyalty is like, because how are you friends with people that don't like me? So you sit here and you talk about me, you talk to me, and I tell you one thing, and then I'm hearing it from the same person telling verbatim what I say to you. So it's like,
I think you can be friends with everyone.
You can. Don't tell my secrets.
You still have to respect that. You have to respect both parties.
Yeah.
And just pretty much not get involved. But you can still be friends with them.
I feel like when she's with the other girls, she's like, yeah, she should go home. And then when you're with me, it's like, Nikki, I really consider you a friend. And I'm like, well, now I feel conflicted. Because when I am the way I am, I feel like I'm genuine. If I'm going to sit here and say, you are my friend, you are my friend, I'm never going to say something about you that you said to me in private.
Right.
It's just like, that's where I'm like, a friend though?
Right. Well, we are definitely going to miss Mish.
Yeah.
I know I am. But before we move on, we have some news and gossip to share with you guys.
Oh, yeah. Give us the music.
We already got the gossip.
Yeah,
Let's hear some news.
So much tea in this episode. So, the news. I don't know if you guys heard. Come in closer. No, I'm just kidding. I can't do that. We don't have those capabilities. But I don't know if you guys heard, but Angelina, which is so funny because this episode was ran by Angelina. She actually recently posted that she thought that Pauly was hot.
Should I come in?
I mean, but like,
How you
what's
feel?
interesting is she's engaged.
And she's engaged.
She's engaged.
Yeah.
So that's
It's
like
innocent.
the crazy part. But
And he said that he was flattered.
Yeah.
I love the quotations. He was flattered.
Because are you guys like, if you're fans of like the Jersey Shore, you saw like on the last family vacation, she would get all like fangirly if Pauly said something to him. Because she thought he was like the king of the Jersey Shore or whatever. So I mean, I'm not surprised.
Wow. The flame is still going, I guess.
Yeah.
Despite her engagement.
I think it's innocent.
Yeah, same here. I didn't really. I thought it was funny, but I don't think there's too much going
Were girls
into this.
jealous in the house when she came in of Angelina?
I don't think so.
You're all probably trying to win her over.
Because they know that she and Vinny hooked up.
I don't know. One, because I'm not in on like the crew with them, so they don't tell me things. So I don't know how everybody felt about her. But for me, when she came in, I was like, she's hot. I don't know that much about, because I wasn't really like following Jersey Shore growing up, so I don't know that much about her. I know one thing though, like Pauly did say within the episode, maybe you guys can relate because she was like the outcast of the show.
Okay.
She did say that you were hot crazy.
Yeah, she did.
I mean, who's not crazy? Come on.
Yeah.
If you were put
So
in
she
that
likes you.
position, in that situation, on my end, in my shoes or whatever, how would you react?
True.
I don't know if I could even be on this show, and be honest. That's why I'm here.
But all right, Nikki. So I want to give you the floor real quick. I want you to tell everyone who thinks you are a villain
and who thinks you're crazy.
Like, what do you have to say to those people who think you are the villain and who think you are just wrong?
Yeah. It's okay to have your own opinion. I'm not here to say, like me, please. I get how it's coming off on TV, but I feel like the people that do know me in my life understand me, and they know why I do the things that I do, and they know that my intentions are pure. So if you are watching this show, clearly not knowing the person that I am, try to understand it from my point of view. Trying to put yourself in my position. How would you react? We're all different people. I don't expect everybody to handle the situation the same way I do, but I'm not a bad person. I don't wake up thinking, who am I gonna get at today? I'm the sweetest person. I wear my heart on my sleeve, which is why I cry almost every episode. Mm-hmm. I think about people more than I think about myself, and I feel like I feel more for the other person than I do from myself. So I don't want people to sit there, love me, hate me, do what you do as you please. At the end of the day, I can only be me, and I can only be true to myself. So if I am a crazy bitch, maybe I am a crazy bitch. I can't apologize for who I am, because at that point, then I won't be Nikisha or Nikki or whoever you guys are seeing.
I like that. I like it.
Nikki, ladies and gentlemen.
That's Nikki.
Nikki. Oh, the claps.
Thank you.
That's great. All right, you guys. So predictions. What do you think is going to happen in the next episode?
Whoa, this is a new sound effect. I was expecting the thunder, because you use the predictions.
Oh yeah, that's
Forgive me.
Right.
Thank God.
Pan off of
Maybe
me.
it's because I'm here. I don't like it.
All right.
Light sensitive over here. You go first, CJ.
Okay. Predictions. Let's see. Ooh. I haven't thought about it yet. Do you want to go, Vinny?
Yeah, I'll go. Okay, so I think that it's gonna be a lot more. It's gonna be very just more crazier, more drama. Like I always say, the eliminations like this one for me, I did not see coming whatsoever. So I think it's gonna continue to be like that, and I'm just gonna leave the episode with my jaw dropped. Mm-hmm. And it's gonna be good. Again, I can't wait.
I know, it's getting good now, and we're down to 10 girls. Now it's getting exciting. You can remember everybody's name and backstory now. It's so much easier. I'm excited to see Marissa make her move. That preview, it had me kind of cringing. I'm kind of nervous for her, so I'm excited about that.
Why are you nervous for her?
I don't know. You know how they cut it, how the producers cut it. I'm just like, is he going to reject her? Is it going to be weird? We don't know, but we'll see next week. I'm also interested to see how Elle's going to shake things up. She might be playing for both teams.
Mm-hmm.
Had her on last week, so yeah, I'm just excited. It's getting real. It's getting less people. Connections are getting more real. It's going to be
Maria
good.
also. I'm excited to see what's going to happen with Maria. Is she going to now go towards Paulie? We'll have to see. What about you, CJ?
I agree with that. Is Maria going to go? I feel like Maria's going to be playing kind of back and forth. She might go home soon because of that reason. And then another prediction is going to be another Nikki fight.
I hope not.
I'm just
over it.
But yeah, those are my predictions.
All right.
I don't like it.
It's definitely going to be another crazy episode. Cannot wait to see it. But that is all the time we have for today. I am your host, Benny Adams. And
where can they find you, Vinny?
Where can they find me? They can find me on all social media at Benny J. Adams.
Yep, the J is for John.
John.
Hey, guys. I love saying that. Hey, Lauren Mayo here. You can find me on Instagram at Lauren Out Loud.
Hey, I'm Nikki, and you guys can find me on Instagram at Nikki St. Clair.
And I am CJ Walker. You can find me everywhere at ICJ Walker, even on YouTube, because
I'm a YouTuber.
That was a lot bad. That was really bad because I'm a YouTuber.
Oh,
cut that out. Oh my god.
See you guys later.
Bye.
I gotta go.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.